Okay, question of the day. How
Okay.
many geniuses does it take for Gary to do a podcast?
3.
I like that. At least that way I could include myself because there's only three of us sitting here. You should at least wave or something.
Well, I'm impressed that you're on, looking so good, and
That was helpful.
it's only 2:00. It's not 2:20 or anything like that. So it's great.
Yeah, you're welcome, Bobby, and thanks for mentioning the fact that very often it's almost past time by the time I get on. Last time was a lot of fun. Looking at that little big picture up
You
there.
were on time last time. We just couldn't see you for a while.
Yeah. So anyway, you kind of know each other, though. I mean, we got Ann, Bobby, and
I don't think I met Bobby yet.
you mean
I don't
Bobby?
think I met you either.
No, I'm a Georgia girl. Yeah, so
Well, I remember Georgia Girl because part of the reason that I didn't make your show was I just assumed you were on East Coast Standard, and
yeah, that's where I am.
well, somehow,
But we're on Eastern Daylight Time now.
okay, it was one of those. Anyway,
And y'all don't change. I don't think y'all change your time, so
no,
No,
I screwed up
we
the
don't.
time,
that's kind of messes things up then.
but I will make the next one for sure.
Okay. So when do you think you'll launch the podcast, the episodes, and where?
Ah, that's a good question. Well, we're talking. Okay, I shouldn't. I wish you guys were out there instead of back here, so I gotta keep. But that's what the question is when are we gonna?
Well, we're trying to smooth it all out. Last week there was an issue, so it wouldn't have been a good one to, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, it wouldn't have been a good one to post, obviously. So we're just trying to smooth it all out, and then it's gonna go on the YouTube.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And that hasn't happened, but that's our direction.
all right.
And
The first one didn't record. And then the second one, I don't recall, but last one.
we had one that went kind of normally, kind of. Than we had last week, which was a lot of fun. Anyway, here we all are, and I'm happy. When I say I am happy to see you, I am really happy to see you, because that's been part of the issue. Is like you could hear me, I couldn't. I could hear you.
Space.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So,
So maybe for the YouTubers, every time you have a video podcast, you can just have everyone say their name, so everyone out in YouTube land knows who everyone is.
why don't we do that now?
Introductions.
Mhm.
Okay, let's start with now. When I'm looking at the screen, what I see is Ann and then myself, and then below that I see Bobby and I see Dale. So I'm like a clockwise guy. I don't like going counterclockwise. So keep it simple. We'll start with Ann.
Well, my name is Ann Harrison. I'm from Georgia. I am a poet. I am a professional author. Got one middle grade book in beta read process, and I'm working on the second draft of another one. And I also run a podcast. So
Didn't you have something exciting that was coming up or came up in the last week or so? You were excited about doing something.
oh yeah, sending my book out to beta reads.
Okay.
Beta readers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a big step for me.
I'm not familiar with that. You're saying, what are you saying? Beta read?
Beta readers, that means my novel, I send it to like a select few people to give me some feedback on it before I even look into getting it published.
Okay.
I don't do that with poetry, but I do that with my fiction.
Okay, okay. I learned something. There you go. All right.
That's what I aim to do.
How about you, Bobby? What do you got? What do you got to say for yourself?
I am Bobby Havens. I'm brand new to poetry. I've written about 10 or 11 poems now. I have published several inspirational short stories, and I'm writing a video book. It's going to have 10 chapters in it. The first one's already been performed and recorded, the first chapter, but the book is called Tall Tales from the Church Out in the Middle of Nowhere. And so that's a little bit about me.
Okay, that's very good. Dale.
Well, I'm a poet and an award-winning writer of a caregiver book. My poetry book is called Jarring a Tiny Bird. I also belong to a couple poetry groups that I enjoy thoroughly, including this one. And I am currently in Arizona. I also have a home in Hawaii.
Very good. We're all here. Whoever here is.
Would she mind sharing her poetry groups?
Okay, yeah. There's probably a lot of sharing that we could and probably should be doing, because part of it you were sharing, but we are promoting our work. So you rephrase that for me and I'll
Would Dale mind sharing the poetry groups that she belongs to? Maybe we can extend it on your Facebook business page.
okay. Did you hear that, Dale?
The one in Hawaii, the one that I'm active in there is called the Maui Live Poets Society. And the two groups that I was involved with here, actually, I'm not here enough to participate in them, except for this group.
Sharing of the poems. And since you're in the sharing mode.
Ah. I don't know if it's a good idea to have your web manager involved in the podcast or not, because she's giving me a lot of orders, and God knows I need the guidance, but the last bit was, and it's true, and I really I'm serious about it. I'm sure I've told you that I have, and you may have looked at it, a podcast, not a podcast, but
New Poets Wednesday.
thank you.
I see that email all the
I
time.
wasn't really trying to think of that. I was actually trying to think of what is the medium that I'm on, that I'm
Webpage.
Your blog.
Yeah. Well, and even more than website, my blog, right, there you go. My website is where my blog is. Yeah. So New Poets Wednesday. What we would like to do would be that whenever we get together and we share our poetry, if you could possibly send the poems that you do share on this show, on this get together, I could then put it on my website and share it on New Poets Wednesday. And
Can do that.
yeah, and that and I think actually I'm pretty sure that all three of you have actually been on New Poets Wednesday.
I think I've been on there once or twice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me
So
too.
there
Me
you go.
three, yeah.
There you go. So keep doing it, okay?
Okay.
All right. So
My job
am
is
I
done.
good? Am I good?
My job is
Your
done.
job is good. We're losing somebody here.
Oh, you're good.
As long as I don't lose one of you, I'll be all right. And and Raven is stretching his back on the floor, and he needs it. He needs it. So anyway, well, unless there are more directions from my web manager,
Then the text.
send a text. Where am I sending a text?
No, them.
Oh,
Send the-
Email, yeah. send it there.
So,
send a text.
so
Send an email.
we can look.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Or
credit.
actually, it'd be better if you emailed it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd rather
You
email than
guys
text
do your
anyway.
thing.
Okay.
It was nice seeing you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye, Raven.
I could say something snarky, like she doesn't really care about poetry, she just. But I said I could, but that means that,
Yeah,
well, sort of,
it's
sort of.
called implied.
Actually, she's
Oh,
very
Adios.
supportive and she loves putting the poet. She likes doing new poets Wednesday. So anyway, let's do it. Who wants to go first?
Well, let me get over here to my, see which one I got here. Okay, I got one. This is Anne. I got one called Ode to the Bells. I wrote this one day when I was outside in my swing. The bells are playing a melody. The bells are calling out to me. The bells are ringing ever so sweetly inside my writer's brain. The bells sing out, "Come play with me." The ringing of the bells is soothing to me. Can the ringing of the bells spark my creativity? Let the bells ring and sing while I sit on my swing and let my imagination run wild. Listen to the bells play a melody as you start your day. Write your inner thoughts away to unblock your inner child. And there's that one.
Thank you. So what do we want to do? Want to go round robin, or do we want to just if you've got two or three, just run with it until you're done?
I got one more if you want me to do my second one, but I don't know.
Well, we'll go round robin. So,
Okay, yeah, I think that's better anyway.
Okay, so Bobby, you want to go?
Yeah, and of course, I would love, since I'm new to this, any kind of critique that you have, but I've been working on this one this week called I've Noticed. Oh, by the way, I'm still trying to get a handle on poetry that doesn't rhyme, because that's what I grew up with. I thought it had to, so, but you've told me, Gary, that it just needs some rhythm, so hopefully this has some rhythm.
Well, some rhythm and some visuals and a lot of other stuff, but yeah, a lot.
You know, I always like to put my poems inside of a visual, but anyway, this one is called I've Noticed. I've noticed there are things I really like and certain people I really love. Those things I like taste good, and those I love feel good. To give up what I like would be to diet. To break ties with those I love is called divorce. I'd rather diet than divorce, but in the end, life goes on, and I survive. I've also noticed there are passions so intricate in me, I would give my very life for their cause. One such passion is a child who will have to face down an assailant wielding a weapon of war. I would give my very life to spare one more child that nightmare. And I've noticed there are masses with me. I'm not alone.
That's
Yep.
deep.
Yeah, that's very deep, very good.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on there. Very
Yeah.
good.
Well, I tried to, it causes me to tear up every time I read it, but I tried
That's a
to,
good thing.
the first
Yes,
half,
it is. Yes, it is.
the first half, I tried to tie in how my life goes on with all of these troubles, but there's lives that end because of this one trouble. And then I purposefully use the word there are masses with me because of the term that we've become familiar with, mass killing. But
There's one suggestion that you might consider.
Okay.
That first part that you just talked about, life goes on,
yeah,
the technique called an echo, so that you might restate that first part at the very end.
okay,
Play with that a little bit, so you get the teary-eyed impact, and then it slows down at the end, and it's back to.
okay,
Yeah,
And,
I agree.
yeah, to kind of jump on that with the other two, and Bobby, I'm sure you know this, being a performer, and a lot of that's kind of a musical technique, is to repeat that the final thing or the final echo
Yeah.
in the last stanza, and it's very effective. You know, it's if you think about songs that you like, you know, it almost always ends something that's already been in the song itself. So I think you're on pretty solid ground there, Bobby.
All right. Thank you. I think I've shared all the rest of my poems with you, so I don't have any one but that today. So
Well, you'll have to write a new one for next time.
I will. I will.
Actually,
I
we're
plan to write
thinking
a new
about
one every week. So.
we're thinking about excusing you so you can go write one right now and get back. You can
No,
do
on
that,
his
could
own
you, Bobby?
time.
I know Bobby can ad lib. I know that.
Yeah.
He has to. He's done scenes with me. You have to ad lib scenes.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to finish that, trying to write that book, and I'm in a performance right now and rehearsing for that. And so I'll try and get another poem done as soon as possible.
That's good for you. That's good for
Nothing
you.
like homework, yeah.
It's good for you, and we will hold you to it. But thank you, Bobby. That was nice, lovely. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good poem. It's a
Yeah.
good poem.
Yeah, I sort of knew from the beginning that you had it in you. With the first poem that you shared that I put on New Poets Wednesday. So it's like,
Yeah, that was the one about my son's passing.
yeah,
One day.
yeah, very powerful. Okay, Dale.
Okay, now this is a poem I just wrote a couple days ago, and I started out trying to write a haiku, which I've never really been able to, and I failed at doing that, but the poem kind of took on, a life of its own, and it really deals with aging and remembering that I have been well loved in my life. If I were aging in place with that, I call it a widow's rhyme. If I were aging in place with that man that I adored, I would sing the following ditty to prove I was never bored. My arms wither, my skin sags, my tits resemble a half-filled bag. Thankfully, I still can smile, recalling the days I stepped with style. My glasses fog, my dentures clog, my morning voice would attract a frog. But luckily, you, my love, would still think that I'm hot. And who am I to pretend I'm not?
I love it. I love it. You
Mhm.
just wrote that? I mean, you wrote it recently?
Yeah, the other night, maybe like last night, 2 days ago, yeah.
That's recent.
Yeah, that's very recent, yeah.
I'm still working on that poem I told you about.
I know, I haven't heard anything more about it, so
Well,
evidently you're not
you're
doing
going
your
to,
homework.
you're going to, I get busy and whatnot and I'm a bit absent-minded, but, no, you gave me some solid, suggestion. And, I'm sure that your suggestion is going to work. I haven't done anything with it yet. Just so, everybody will understand what we're talking about. I wrote a part of a poem. It's actually going to be a song, I think. But I originally called it My Biped Baby because I couldn't think of anything else to call it. But it's kind of a poem about me living in my country club prison with a view during COVID. You know, when we didn't, people couldn't just drop in and you couldn't just go wherever you wanted to go, or you had to take a mask. But I live on a condo and there's a golf course and a sidewalk that surround us here. And so I'm always seeing people walk by on the sidewalk. And one day a young lady walked by and I put together, to me, what would be 2/3 of a really good song, but I had no beginning. I couldn't do the setup. And actually, I would be happy to share it today, if I thought I could find it without taking up too much time. But anyway, I think and now that I think of it, I should definitely have brought it to this get together because that's kind of what we want to do. I think Bobby getting feedback from Dale was in a sense that's kind of where we're coming from. We want to share what we're doing, but we like to sort of advance each other if we can, or in any way that we can. So anyway, thank you. Now, do you have a follow-up that you want to do now, Dale, or?
Well, I have another poem, but we could do it in round robin is fine.
Well, I was just gonna say I don't have it I don't have it pulled up. I mean, it wouldn't take me but a minute to do it, but next time I can bring one that I haven't finished either. I started one about I think I call it Summer Breeze, not to copy the song, but that's just the title of it, and talk about sitting out in the summer. Or I've got either that or it's a spring one. I don't remember. I have to go look at my poetry to find it. But there's one I started and I haven't come up with a way to finish it yet. So
I think that's perfect. I tell you what, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. How about
okay. Okay.
We don't need to take that too far, but anyway.
Poetry is what we're talking about.
That's right.
I know exactly what you meant.
Okay, so I'm gonna now. I still want to get your feedback, Dale, because you're the first person I told about that. But since it's come up and since it seems to have legs, I will commit to. I'm bringing My Biped Baby to the next get together. I do it now, but I don't want you don't want me fooling around trying to find something during our podcast. Trust me, because I probably won't even find it anyway. But I'll do that now. Well, I guess what that means is either you can go now or I can read a poem now, whichever way we want to go. Because Bobby stopped because it was the only one he had, right? Today, I mean.
Well, why don't you read one, Gary?
Well, that's what I'm about to do.
You asked for our opinion. Well,
can you see that
The frog, yeah.
You see my phone?
And I actually you sent me the saga of My Biped Baby.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, you can read it.
I have it right here on my phone. I don't know if I can text it to you and you read it, but
Well, I think you should.
so I'm gonna take a screenshot and text it to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got it. It's- Yeah, yes. Text it.
Or did you want me to read it?
I want you to read it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You want me to read it?
Oh,
Yeah,
now
see,
you're
that's
gonna put me up to the challenge, huh?
Okay, I can read it.
He'll do it.
See, that's what happens when you have a drama background, Bobby.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute and go find my poem now. Thanks, Gary.
So everybody can
Okay.
disappear,
Is it the one-
and I'll be sitting there like, where'd everybody go?
No, I'm not gonna disappear. I just gotta mute myself so you don't hear my computer talking to me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gary, what is a biped baby?
Just a good-looking gal,
Okay.
Two
All right, you
babies.
ready?
right? As most of us have.
Okay.
I didn't say it was. a
She's
great size.
she's my biped baby, and she don't mean maybe. Wearing blue jean shorts and sensible shoes. The girl ain't fixin' to sing no blues. And here is her personal point of view. I can feel you looking at my good cooking. Don't bother me none. Don't slow me down. I get this attention all over town. Gonna dance every day and sing my song. See my rock steady as I glide along. Don't have to go fast, don't have to go slow, 'cause I can make the wind blow. I say I can make the wind blow on a dried up summer day. She's my biped baby, and she don't mean maybe, wearing blue jean shorts and sensible shoes. The girl ain't fixin' to sing no blues. She don't have to go fast, don't have to go slow, 'cause she's making the wind blow, making the wind blow, making the wind blow on a dried up sunny day.
It never sounded so good. And I probably won't change much of that because I like it, but it doesn't tell the story, and that's what Dale was going to help me with. And
Well, you were saying you wanted it to be set up so that people
Yes.
understood that you were stuck in COVID lockdown and that your view was very limited. And then here came this person that was quite a personality, and then that went into the poem.
exactly.
So, and I think you could do that with, one short stanza of talking about being in COVID and having your one window on the world that was pretty boring. Well, maybe not, because you mentioned the view you have of the mountains and so on. But
The view is not boring, but if all you got is the view and no people, it does. It's almost worse to have a nice view. I mean, it's like
okay, there you go.
so lovely.
That's
out
what you
there.
could add.
Nobody to share it with.
Yeah.
But wow, this I feel like we've gone from worst to best in 2 weeks flat.
Okay.
Best to me in that not only do I have Dale giving me good suggestions about how to finish my poem, I got Bobby reading my poem, and that's not it's like Bobby has a bit of a reputation. It's no small thing to have him read your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on cloud nine. And I'm going to get a good poem out of it, and but I'm not going to read it now. Matter of fact, I showed you that frog just because it was easy for me to find my next poem, and it's on that page. Now, I always have my books out, not so much to show them off, but because I do have a little bit of a reading problem, okay? And the best form for me to read a poem is the way that it came out in the book, because it's the spacing is beautiful, it's black on white, and it's just it's just the best way to go. Anyway, I call this one morning exposure. I am not a frog loving my comfy bath, boiling in your death pools because I don't know any better. I fear not the grim reaper, the midnight creeper, the heart monitor beeper, gone silent to proclaim the passing or to proclaim my passing. Because my spirit is divine, I have no need to work for time. And according to divine decree, turns out time works for me. I'm in love with the English language, and I think she loves me better. Which begs the question in three-part harmony, what miracle shall we allow today? And I don't know who is texting me, but I'm going to turn off my phone.
You know what's interesting though? When you said heart monitor beeping, your phone vibrated right then. So the sound effect really just added something to it.
As Bobby will tell you, and Dale too, timing is everything. Timing is everything, even if it's blind luck.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, are you ready for my unfinished one?
I stay ready. What can I
Okay,
say?
I call this open air poem. I'm sitting in the open air, thinking of taking a walk to share in the joy and sunshine of the day, instead of wasting time at play, stuck inside the house. And that's as far as I've gotten.
Can you read it again?
Hold
Yeah.
on, let me go back to the top. Okay, wait, let me. Hold on. Oh my. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm sitting in the open air, thinking of taking a walk to share in the joy and sunshine of the day, instead of wasting time at play stuck inside the house.
First, read the first two lines again, would you?
Okay. Wait, let me give me a second. Okay. I'm sitting in the open air, thinking of taking a walk to share in the joy and sunshine of the day. I know that's 3, but
Okay, continue.
oh. Instead of wasting time at play, stuck inside the house. And what I meant by that was playing computer games. That was one of those first warm days in February when I wrote it. But that's as far as I've gotten.
Well, but at the first part, you're saying that you're outside, so that's like a vision, right?
No, I
you're
was
really-
actually sitting outside
you're
when
sitting outside. Okay.
right, thinking of taking a walk instead of going back in the house and playing games all the rest of the
Okay.
day.
Well, you never say anything about going back to the house.
Oh, okay.
Good point.
So maybe you should make it clear that you're like sitting on a bench or whatever.
I'm in my swing. Yeah.
Or how you feel about going back in the house.
Yeah, right. You need a little bit more explanation, I think, to set the picture.
Okay. Okay, I'll work on that. Not right this minute, but yeah, I will work on that.
Okay, you can excuse yourself and go work.
All
No,
right.
I've got a funny one to read later when if we have time.
I love funny.
Well, we're having too much fun today, so I have to read one that's not funny.
Oh, okay. You can be the killjoy, right?
Right. Well, that's it. You build them up and then drop them. And
I know. Yeah, you're good about doing that.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, I've written lots of caregiver poems, and this one is about this eternal feeling you have when you take care of somebody long term, and there comes to be a point where you just can't take care of them anymore. There's more things to do. And this is one of the few poems I've written about my dad. My dad had Alzheimer's. My mom was sick at the same time, and so I was juggling both of them. Anyway, it's called Room 134A. It takes 2 people, one on each side, to lift Dad from wheelchair to bed. from bed to wheelchair, from wheelchair to commode, to bed, to commode, to wheelchair. It takes two people. Dad will die here. Room 134A. Lifted daily by two people. Other people. Not mom. Not me.
I love that ending.
Mm,
I absolutely love the ending.
that's sad.
Well, it just really kind of like somehow it brings all the emotions up front at the same time in the last two lines or whatever it was. Could you read those two again, just so I can get those in my head? The last part of it, I don't
The
care.
last part?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's Dad will die here. Room 134A. Lifted daily by two people. Other people. Not mom. Not me.
Mm,
That's the really,
very good.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So now how about how about a happy one?
happy one?
Okay, funny one. Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
Okay.
Well, Brain Mites is kind of happy. I don't know if I have a happy.
You got something funny?
They're all they're all funny.
Okay.
Funny attempts at art. Yeah. Modern Declaration. No, you don't want that one. That's kind of political. Okay, did I read this before? Do you remember me reading a poem called Shuffle?
Not right
I don't know
offhand,
why
I
you
don't.
remember the title. You know what? That was a dumb question. I'm just gonna read it, all right?
Go for it.
Funny, not so much, but lighthearted, okay, it's that. Now, there is a sight gag involved here, which I could do it, but I'd have to get up out of my chair and maybe I'll just do it instead of talking about it. But you have to understand, I couldn't read this to an audience that can't see me because the line
Well,
wouldn't
you
be
will
funny.
you will be doing that partly because I can't see you. I'm totally blind. So the fake one might be lost on me, but it wouldn't be lost on Bobby and Dale and those on YouTube watching. Well, I have to be honest here.
Yeah, sure.
I'm laughing with you. I really am. I love your sense of humor. Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, here it goes. I mean, it's called Shuffle. Okay. Part of this, I'm going to ask you to imagine. The other part, we'll I don't know, Ann, what we're going to do with the other part, but we'll see. Picture a young actor, early 20s, serious about my craft, playing Howard Bevins, Picnic, bachelor in his 40s, ancient according to my lights. Scene: Howard rushes on stage, agitated. Challenge: how does a 40-year-old man rush? Does he bolt or canter? Or does he, as I supposed, shuffle? Which led me to concoct a middle-aged man's hustle. It went something like this. And in Ann's honor, I am not going to get up and show you the shuffle. You just have to imagine a shuffle, okay? Also, it caused me to lose my place. Okay. Now, a shuffle is something like this. Okay. Well, what did I know? I was a kid. I'm 75 years old now, and I run like a deer. Okay, I'm not that fast, but my form is exquisite. Shuffle my ass.
I think I've seen you do that shuffle when we were down at karaoke that night.
Oh, that's right, that's right. I forget, Yeah, the places that,
Oh, I'll never forget that night with that 30-year-old woman climbing all over you.
oh, just stop, you just
Now
stop
that
with the-
sounds interesting.
Well, her boyfriend came over to beg her to come back to the table, and she said, "No, I'm busy with Gary." So,
Whoa, all right. Hey.
That's
Oh, that's
Bobby's
funny.
interpretation of what he saw, okay?
I think
She
I'm gonna
was
write
a
a
very
poem.
friendly person and had
Hey,
a
there,
good sense
yeah,
of
write a
humor.
poem about that. Yeah.
I think I will.
Better you than me.
Yeah. Well, he would have a different point of view.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
I was
According to
thinking right
Bobby, I had a hell of a good time that night.
Yeah, but you don't remember, right?
too. It was a fun night.
I thought she was, and in fairness, I don't think her boyfriend took umbrage at anything that went on. I mean, he went with it, whatever it was, and I didn't really know myself. I just knew that, hey, we were there, and I had somebody to talk to, and we were dancing and stuff, what the heck.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right, Bobby, I'll finish my poem. You have to finish that one for me, though.
All right. I will. I'm still stuck on stuck. I love Anne's poem that finished with instead of stuck. And there's all kinds of creative ideas flying around in my head after that. So
Oh, stuck in the house?
well, yeah, the poem seems to be about getting out. But when you said instead of stuck in the house, I just thought of several more refrains that would talk about places we're stuck in. So
It got stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I couldn't have scripted this any better.
this
could
is
not.
why it's so good to be unscripted, because that's when you can be authentic and you can actually engage your audience.
yeah.
I like that. I don't remember too many people calling me authentic. I've been called a lot of things in my life, but authentic, I'm not so sure about that one.
Excuse me.
Mainly
Okay.
what I get is, where's Gary? Where's Gary? He's supposed to be over here. Who's got Gary watch? This is no, and this is true, and this is not. Bobby is smiling because he knows me from recent times. I'm telling you, I did Fiddler on the Roof with a theater company, a little theater group in where do we live? We live in Phoenix, and the next one out is Scottsdale. Yeah, it's in Scottsdale, and
Which way did he go?
I don't have a big part. I'm playing the pastor, the preacher, and if you know the show, it's well, okay. What do you call the okay, it's a Jewish thing, right?
Yeah.
So what do you call the Jewish religious person?
The rabbi?
The rabbi. Okay. I know. How do you forget rabbi? Stop laughing, Bobby. It's not that funny. Okay, so I played the rabbi, and it's a small part, but he's got some good lines, and I liked it. But you got to do a lot of. It's a musical, so there's choreography. We had to move around and dance, and be certain places on the stage, and they actually had to assign a person to me to make sure that I was in the right place at the right time, which at first I took umbrage at, but then I started to kind of depend on that person. little kid about this big, you know. And matter of fact, that's when I decided I didn't particularly care for working with kids. And my keeper saying, well, I did something. I made some mistake on stage, and it's between acts, and we're all together in the green room, whatever you want to call it. And this child says to me, she says, you know, Gary, you're lucky that we're such an understanding group of people, because there are some people who will be very upset for the mistakes that you made. She's this big, you know, this big. And you know what I did? I ratted her out. I
Oh,
told her mother what she said. And then I had to kiss. But she's a great kid. She's a great kid. I don't want, because her mother said, she said what? And I said, oh, you should not have kept. You should have kept your big mouth shut. And so I had to calm the mother down. I said, please don't say anything to her. I mean, she's a great kid. Obviously, she's got a lot of talent, and she was very nice to me. Okay. Now I don't know what the mother said, but we never heard any more about it. So I guess I got away with it. I don't.
Well, speaking of making sure Gary's in the right place, every play I've ever been in, I'm listening backstage for my cue to get ready to go on stage, except for It's a Wonderful Life. And then I would listen for my cue to go find Gary so we could both go on stage, because it was never where he was supposed to be.
I thought I did rather well with you. It was the guy after you that I drove crazy. But you know what? I didn't like him as much as I like you, so I didn't care. You know, like, he could be as upset as he wanted to be. I said, if you see me there, I'll be there, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, we had fun.
Well, we had fun, and not only that, I sort of like, how many times have I done it? I don't know. I must have done that show about 5 times at least.
Yeah.
It's the only one I do.
Times 30, and then 30 shows, 5 different years. I think you've done it.
So what's your point, Bobby? That I should know it by now?
My point is I'm pleasantly surprised that at 2:00 in the afternoon you show up without me having to go find you. So
Well, considering you're at home.
Oh yeah, you're gonna pay for that one, Bobby. Somehow, some way, someday, you will pay. But it was a laugh.
wow.
So do we have what time is it? Anybody? I was supposed to watch that, wasn't
Well, I have another one I'd like to do if we have
Oh, please
time.
do.
If you got time, I want to do my quick little funny one.
I got nothing but time.
Okay.
all right.
Cat and Goose Chase is the name of this one. And this one actually was written during a little poetry party streamed with a couple of my friends. And we did it for National Poetry Month a couple of years ago. And we came up with some and the lady who actually, my friend and author coach who actually did this, her son came up with some of these prompts. So this was based on the word cat. Tit for tat, here comes my cat, scratching and clawing to get out of his hat. Should I let him run loose and chase the goose in my backyard up a tree? Oh no, he's coming after me. Run, rabbit, run. See, here the cat comes to chase you away. Oh my goodness. The goose saved the day, and my cat went back in his hat to sleep the night away.
That's gorgeous.
Yep,
That's good.
that was one of those
Gorgeous.
funny poems that
yeah, good.
See, that's what I like to share with people who don't get into poetry too much, is how much joy there can be, and how free you really are. It's well, as compared with other forms of art, even like writing a novel or something like that, you know. With poetry, you know, it's like I work on something for maybe an hour and nothing is happening, I go do something else, you know. It's kind of a good way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to do mine too. I have one
Of
more I
course
want
you're
to do.
gonna do
Yeah.
yours. Oh, I got it.
Well, I don't want us to
When
run out
Gary
of
stops
time.
talking, I'm gonna do mine, okay.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Okay, this is one I like to do. This is what I like to do. I've done it several times at Barnes and Noble, and I have a red shawl that I put around me, and then I have like a big finale at the end, and anyway, it's called, so imagine that I'm doing that. I tried it this morning on a small screen like this, and I knew it wouldn't work here, just like you and your shuffle, Gary. It's not gonna work. Okay, this is called Why Poetry. Words come to me, silver threads that weave in and out of life, like bronze shimmering strings. They pierce muddy brown and dreary blue routines. These metallic moments twinkle into my eyes, catch me unaware, render insignificant the abundant grays that would choke vitality from my daily tapestry. I write vibrant verbal color, passions that pull the fabric of my life together, give it form, make it whole, make it worthy to be worn, and now and then wickedly unfurled.
Good.
Yeah, I hope I'm around for that. Oh, I have.
Well, I wear more than just the shawl.
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Well, you can't control the listener's mind, you know.
I know the images, and that's not all bad.
Well, see, there you go. There you go. You sort of imply it. You don't have to say it, you know.
Yeah, right.
That way you can say, "Oh, I don't know where you got that from," you know. If you don't like what they said, you know.
I've had that happen to me quite often.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. So,
Okay, Gary, it's your turn again.
it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh, okay. If everybody's being silly, I got another silly one.
Okay.
It's just kind of a long, silly one. And I have to be very careful not to do this in front of my doctor. I have a wellness doctor as opposed to, I have a primary care like everybody does for the insurance and all that. But I actually have a wellness doctor who's my doctor, and she's very interested in my diet. Okay.
Oh, I bet this is about hot dogs, right?
Did I read this one before?
No, but I have your book.
Oh, okay, because I was worried about, I said, I was thinking about doing, us getting together, and I was thinking about, you really need to write down from time, from each show, what you
Yeah.
read, so you don't,
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
you read
because
it
every time
again.
is different. Every time's different.
Oh yeah, and sometimes one poem you may have read it before, but it fits a different. When somebody else writes it, you maybe read something else. You may be inspired to read that same one again, and it may hit audiences different at different times.
All right, you asked for it. Suppose you were a black hole. Apologies to my wellness doctor. I just threw that in case she read the book and said, what is this, Anyway, every single act that can be countable presupposes the probability of an immutable singularity, rendering moot the point that only one possibility can possibly matter. So it is with diet being what you choose to eat. And so it is with hot dogs. And so it is with me. There is nothing in the fridge or pantry that I care a fig to eat, and nothing in the food stores, and nothing in the restaurants neither, that generate a single G of gastronomical pull. Hot dogs dictate my event horizon. Nothing else will do. Hot dogs plumped and drippy from my toaster oven, sometimes 3, sometimes 2, lapping over white bread, laced with yellow mustard, washed down with a citrus drink when I have it, and when I don't, a Diet Coke will do. Hot dogs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Though perhaps with dinner, I'll have chips. The kind that you find in convenience stores for folks just in it for the salt and crunch. So coaches, friends, and dietitians, save your collective breaths. What you eat is what sustains you. So I'm eating hot dogs for a while, eating hot dogs for that extra mile, self-assured that any other sack of taste would simply be a cosmic waste. There you go. That's it.
Wow. Is there-
Everybody-
which book-
everybody said, "Is he
which
for
book is
real?" The look on your faces.
If you like hot
Priceless.
dogs, well, go for you have at it. But
Say what?
I said, if you like hot dogs, have at it. I like my beef brats.
I
So
like
what kind of hot dogs? What kind does it
hot
have to
dogs?
be? Because I've heard Hebrew National are the only ones.
Oh
that
my
are-
gosh, you
Oh,
just
they're probably my favorite. Yeah.
yeah, I've had Hebrew National.
Costco.
Yeah, they're good.
A voice from the peanut gallery.
Costco.
Costco's. Costco does have good hot dogs. Now, I haven't gone to Costco and had a hot dog for a long time. Well, COVID kind of knocked everything out, you know. But I know when my wife and I would go to Costco, we always had a hot dog, and they were great.
How about at the Suns game?
Oh yeah, Sun's hot dogs. Well, that's special. Kind of pricey though. The hot dogs aren't pricey, but going to the game is kind of pricey. But yeah, actually, they have the best. They have the best, and unfortunately, I can't do the hot dogs at the ball game because the bread, the bun has gluten in it, and I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to get a hot dog and throw some mustard on it and eat it with a fork, which I would do at home. But then, no, that was my thing. Go to the game, get in before I even go to my seat. I get my hot dog, you know. I mean, and I didn't want to see the game if I didn't get that hot dog. Now I kind of gotta like suck it up and say, well, when the game starts, you'll forget the hot dog. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't, you know. But as God is my witness, I have not succumbed to that hot dog yet.
Bring your own bun.
I bring my own bun. Yeah.
There you go.
You can get gluten-free buns.
Yeah, and you can get buns made with potato flour.
Yeah.
And those are so good too. I've had them one
And
time.
anything made with corn, I can eat, you know, because corn is not glutinous.
Yeah, but you won't find cornbread hot dog buns.
Right.
No, but I was just saying stuff.
But you could eat a corn dog though.
Yeah, corn dog.
Yeah, no, that's probably got flour in it too.
I think we don't want to turn you. Well, maybe we do want to turn you loose. You're having more fun with these hot dogs than I did.
Okay. Question: how did we get? I know the poem took us to hot dogs, but we got off on a hot dog. We went down a hot dog rabbit trail.
Yes, we did. What are you asking me? How to get out of it? Like I
No.
would know. You know?
No, I'm just saying, just for
I'm
for
good
the
at getting in
viewers.
trouble, not out of it. You know?
Well, how about this, Gary? What about the space inferences? Black hole, event horizon, where'd that come from?
Oh, well, that just came from me trying to show off a little bit. I know what a black hole is. I'm kind of a science guy, you know.
Well, then sometimes you got those emotional black holes that you can go down into. I've done that.
Well, exactly.
I've been there, done that.
And well, the idea was to balance something, well, to use some serious language to balance off a silly poem.
Hmm.
I mean, that's kind of what I thought I was doing there. I mean, I did it on purpose. You know, I tried to sound, you know, like I actually knew a thing or two. At the same time, obviously, I can't be too smart if I'm eating hot dogs. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't critique my own stuff.
Which book was that from? Was that in Coffee with the Bard?
Yeah,
Because I
Yeah,
thought I
yeah.
remembered that one.
if I just read it, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I thought I
what I
remembered
got
that.
in my lap right now. So,
Oh, okay, yeah. So I thought I remembered that because you did the audiobook version of it.
oh, I did.
Yeah, you did. You don't remember doing that?
How would I do that?
It was on Audible?
Yeah, but oh, you mean I did it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
did. I
read
did.
it.
And,
You read the audio.
oh yeah, yes. As a matter of fact, everything in the book is on the audio book. That was
Yeah.
the idea. That was
Yeah.
it.
I loved it.
And yeah, I
You
was hoping to
inspired me
tell
when I
people
read
about
that.
it. Really?
Because when come Christmas time, I've got a Christmas tree a Christmas poem that was inspired by your book, which inspired another Christmas poem.
You know what? Next time we get together, when it's my turn to read, you just read one of my poems from the book, and I'll be happy. You'll probably do it better than I do.
That might not because it was an audiobook. That I would have
Oh, it
to.
might be a little tough, huh?
Yeah, that would be a
I'll
little
get
bit
it.
tricky. I'll let you do the audio. I'll let you do the audio of your own poems. That's a little
Okay, that's
tricky.
probably better. That's probably better. I'd
'Cause
like
it would
that
take me
better.
too long to find it.
Well, that's the thing. You can put all the paper clips in a book you want, but when it's your turn to read, it's like, man, wait a minute, that's not it.
No, and you can't a paperclip an audiobook. I mean, it's true.
So I
Uncle,
don't have a funny
Uncle.
poem. You guys have a funny poem, so you inspired me, and I just out of the blue wrote one.
Okay.
Here,
How
All right.
convenient.
Hey, even my tech guy is applauding.
here it is. Hey, I used to be a pastor. Really? You can ask her. Well, you just walked past her. Yeah, I used to be her pastor, and you just gassed her.
Oh,
Jesus.
dear.
Oh,
I don't know
wow,
whether to
that's
put you on the head of the class or to ban
Maybe
you.
it wasn't funny to you.
You know, I
but
don't know which way I want to go with that.
Wait, hey,
good.
We say, oy vey, yeah.
wait, hey.
oh, I'm making myself.
I think you kind of outdid yourself there, Bobby. My God, what would you do if you had time to write something?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it was that inspired me, but
Well, keep coming back, keep being inspired. I mean, y'all,
What do you call what do you call that? What
I'm
do you call
planning
that
on
poem?
it. Thank you, Gary, for doing these.
Did you give that poem a title, Bobby?
A title?
Uh-huh.
No,
Oh, okay.
I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll give you something to think about.
Yeah.
well, you did write it down. I love it. You know, I think you should send that to I'd put that on Newport Wednesday, you know?
Well, let me
Because it's funny, you know?
let me-
I mean, it's
let me trim it. Let me polish it up a bit. Cause
All
I'm
right.
thinking, it's making me laugh so hard. I think I'm gonna come up with a graphic and then put it on Facebook too. So,
That's good. That's good.
Well, I forgot you have those skills too, but you can still send it to me. I can still put it on New Poets Wednesday. I could even give you a play. I said, don't forget to look for Bobby's. Yeah.
yeah.
Is anybody even looking at time? I don't even have a watch. I don't
Let
have
me
At
see.
3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's
It's
three.
it's 6:06 my time.
Yeah,
Okay.
3:06.
Okay. Does anybody have anything they really want to do?
Such as
Another poem. I mean,
No.
I've got one, but it's too long for now.
Yeah.
I
all
had
right,
one. I
let's
had
hold it.
How
Let's
about
share
cool
it.
titles?
yeah.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
How about a cool title?
For what?
Just a cool title.
A
A
cool
cool
title for
title.
what?
Yeah,
I
title
don't,
for
I
what?
don't know. For
Just
For
something
Bobby's poem?
And then write about it.
oh, it's an exercise, you mean?
Yeah,
That's kind of the back way around. Usually the title is the last thing you put on because it's the
Not
Not
flag.
necessarily.
Well,
Not necessarily. Not
it's-
for it doesn't work that
Well,
way.
you know what? Unless somebody has to end this, so I guess it's going to have to be me. I'm the kind of person that you never know when I'll come to the party, but you're going to have to throw me out at the end because I will stay till the last dog dies. So we're going to go ahead and end this. I want to thank you. I had a lot of fun, and I think we'll have even more fun the next time. And I'm glad that we've kind of got a couple of things have happened today that just that's kind of cool. I didn't think we could actually do that, and then we did it. And when we critiqued each other, we've expressed what we liked and didn't like. Well, we didn't say too much about what we didn't like. All the stuff I dream of, I think we've pretty much done today. So all you got to do is come back and do it more and better next time, right?
Right.
Will
I'll
do.
send you the first two I read, but I'm gonna have to work on this third one first, and I'll send it to you when I get done.
Okay. Okay. And I'm hoping that among other things, that we not only help each other, but we can do things like, hey, I got this new thing. You want to put it on your thing, your thing. I don't know. Bobby's got a thing. Dale's got a bunch of things. So it's kind of all of us sort of promoting each other, which is kind of what
Yeah, sharing each other's stuff. Like anybody will got a
my
poem.
original idea was. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
We'll
Thank
do
you.
this again in 2 weeks.
All
Okay.
right.
Alrighty.
And, we'll get some more
See you
people.
then.
Okay.
Okay.